What's going on, everybody, and welcome to a video about cloud versus local GPUs and when should you use which one or which one should you use. And I think it's pretty clear the one that you should use is most likely cloud or local or both. So in which circumstances should you use which one and so on. So I think most of the hosts are going to vary in price at least a little bit, but in general, a good average number to look at is going to be about $2 an hour per $4,000 of GPU. So you're going to pay $2 an hour for $4,000 of GPU that you rent. So it's kind of regardless of which GPU it is, that's going to be in general the ratio. So what would that be? 0.0005, I think that's correct. Anyways, dollars per hour. So whether you rent a smaller GPU or even more power than a $4,000 GPU, that's close to the same ratio, right? It is going to vary significantly, as we've seen. We can see hosts literally cost twice as much for the same amount of VRAM. So anyways, keep that in mind, but that's the number I'm going to be working off of. So let's say it's $2 an hour for a $4,000 GPU. Well, it's pretty simple math. How many hours is it going to take to equal $4,000? Well, it's just 4,000 divided by 2, so 2,000 hours. So that's going to be about 83 days, which is like 2.8 months. So once we also factor into, so basically it would take 2.8 months to equal $4,000. So let's just say no matter what the GPU is that you're going to rent, let's assume you were going to consider buying it, you would have to spend 2,000 hours on that GPU, constantly training with that GPU to equal the cost of that GPU if you were to buy it, locally, as opposed to hosting it. Now, of course, there's other considerations, like if you buy the hardware, you could later sell the hardware. So there would be usually, I try to budget about a 50% depreciation per year, just because one, it's old, but also one, it's used, but then two, usually by the time you're ready to sell it, there's newer, better ones out. So it also gets depreciated for that reason. So generally a 50% hit per year tends to be the case on high-end GPUs. Some of the mid-range ones hold their price better. But anyway, so there's that. Also, but the other thing you have to consider if you run locally is it's not just the cost of the GPU, right? You could, in theory, take that GPU and put it in your main machine. And so that's what I did when I first started out. And I'm actually going to recommend against doing that if you're actually starting out, because it's not cost efficient. The only reason I did that is there were no cloud GPU hosts when I first was getting into machine learning. These GPUs in the cloud are actually kind of a new thing that hasn't really been around for very long. So I think if you're just starting out, you can't possibly fathom actually training models for 2,000 hours. So just rent in the cloud. That's where you should go. Now, I will throw in one more kind of caveat, and that is in /warning to watch out for these value added hosts. So I see them recommended, or people ask about them all the time. An example of this might be FloydHub. Now, nothing against FloydHub. I think they have a decent enough service. It's just that I think some people mistakenly go to them when they shouldn't. So if you're trying to learn how to do machine learning and actually program it all yourself and run it yourself, go into production yourself, a place like FloydHub kind of becomes a trap. Again, they're not trying to become a trap. It's your fault, not their fault. But you'll get stuck there because you get used to that specific platform, and leaving becomes a significant hardship because you've got to learn how to actually do hosting rather than using their pretty GUIs and their pre-built models and all this stuff. So you want to be careful about those services. Also, the problem and the reason why it becomes a trap is FloydHub or other sites like it are going to just always be a little bit more expensive. They're value added. So comparing the cost of FloydHub to other hosts, even some of the more expensive ones, you're still going to pay a 33% premium over what you would pay if you hosted it on a more traditional host. That does not scale well. So I would recommend against making that mistake. There's also free tiers that you can get. Honestly, when you're just learning and you don't even want to rent a GPU, or you don't want to buy a GPU, or you don't have one powerful enough, just go off of your CPU. Your CPU is powerful enough to learn deep learning. You really don't need a GPU. You start needing a GPU when data sets are like millions large. And obviously you've got how many features per sample or something like that, but still you get the idea. You don't really need a GPU to learn. You need a GPU to actually produce things. So anyway, and you also don't need a GPU for like production. Like once you actually go into production with a specific model, chances are you're doing it on a CPU just because you don't need the GPU. We use the GPU so we can feed in batches of these samples. So unless you're running a big business or you're processing things for Facebook who needs to classify just a ton of stuff every second, you can probably just run it on a CPU. I mean, every model I've ever put into production ran on the CPU, even though we trained on the GPU. So anyway, getting back to our, let's say our $4,000 GPU for $2 an hour, the other cost that you have when you're local is just electricity. So let's say you are running a $4,000 GPU 24 hours a day. It's going to draw like your entire machine, maybe $50 to $70 per month just in power for the machine. The machine also is going to generate heat, which has to be accounted for with air conditioning, usually, unless it's like in the winter. But here in the South, I tend to budget about $100 per machine per month that I run if I'm running at 24/7 training models. So again, that adds up. So again, it kind of basically becomes about 3 months. So if you were training a model nonstop for 3 months straight, or a cumulative of 3 months, and let's say 3 months over the course of a year. So 25% of the time you are training some sort of model on that GPU, then it starts to make sense to buy this GPU and have it local. But there's other reasons you might want to buy a GPU and have it local, right? First of all, computer hardware is just cool. Like, I understand that. So sometimes, you might be trying to justify buying it locally because it's going to save you money. But that's not true. Just be, realistic and honest to yourself. Just admit you want to buy cool stuff. And that's okay. Like, if you just want to buy it to own it, that's also cool. But you're not saving any money. Like, the cloud just makes more sense because you have options, right? It's opportunity cost. If you're in the cloud at any point, you can change to a different cloud provider. You can also come down. You could at any point decide, I'll just go local now, right? You have that opportunity to do that. But if you go local and you spend $5,000 and then you train for only 100 hours over the course of a year, because I'm going to be honest, like, it's actually pretty difficult to hit that 2,000 hours of training mark in a year. I've done it, but I've also gone long periods of time where I don't do it. And it really depends. Like, the only reason I'm able to do it is because I have clients, and then I also do like tutorials and stuff. So I'm always like working on something. But I think if you're just like a hobbyist and you're just trying to like learn, you're like a student or a hobbyist, chances are a local GPU is a huge fiscal mistake, right? If you're doing it for business purposes, it makes a little more sense. Like, if you're earning a profit in some way, you're getting grant money, or you're being paid by some corporation or whatever, you've got clients or whatever, it makes a little bit more sense. Plus, if you're running it through a business, it's tax deductible either through like depreciation, but also just the purchase price. So it starts to make more sense to have things locally again. But anyway, there's so many things to think about, but honestly, for me personally, I end up with a bit of a hybrid approach. So I've got a Titan RTX in my main machine. Prior to that, I had the 1080 Ti, which I strongly recommend. That was like the best bang for your buck card to date. Before that was the 970. Was it a Ti? I think it was a 970 Ti. Anyways, that was like an amazing one. We haven't had any amazing bang for your buck since. Like, the new RTX cards are pretty awesome for their price, but the 1080, I would have kept my 1080 Ti. I just happened to get a Titan RTX, so I use that now. But I think for the typical average person, you would really want to have something that you can like develop locally on. So like a 1080 Ti, or maybe one of the new RTX 1080s or the 2080s or whatever, something you can at least develop models locally on. But then when you go to actually start training for long durations, you'd probably just do it in the cloud. The cloud is way more convenient. Also, if you're local, you kind of like, for me, I train models locally, but then sometimes I want to train like many models at the exact same time. Well, to do that, to train many models at the exact same time, I just expand into the cloud. So maybe I've got one locally, but then I expand out into the cloud and I'm doing like a bunch of other models in the cloud. So I kind of do it that way. But I'd say 95% of my GPU time nowadays happens in the cloud. It's just more convenient. There's more power. It's as much power as you could possibly afford and desire. Anyway, I hope that was clear. Like I said, I recognize most people are not going to be buying maybe a $4,000 even GPU, and then maybe some people want even more than that. So, for example, at some point, I'm going to review this Lenovo Data Science Workstation, which is a $30,000 computer that you can plausibly buy. Well, even this 3-month thing extrapolates to high-end machines, even like that, where if you want 96 gigabytes of VRAM, it's going to be like $13,000 a month from Azure or AWS, and then it's like about $10,000 a month from Google, or it could be as cheap as $4,000 a month from Linode. So yeah, I'm quite the Linode shill lately. If you want to check out Linode, by the way, for cloud GPUs, that's just linode.com/Centex. It's a $20 credit. Honestly, I think the other benefit to cloud GPUs is like what we're seeing with Linode right now. They're coming in with the same, like, let's say for per dollar VRAM and tensor cores. They're coming in with faster tensor T-flops and the same amount, let's say, of VRAM for half the price. Less than half the price. It's less than half. And it's not because Linode is amazing. It's because all of these cloud host providers are going to be just clawing at each other and just fighting it out for the actual users. Because right now, this cloud hosting GPUs thing is this kind of new market. It's this brand new market with a lot of money that's coming in. And if you ask me, I think GPUs, just like GPU rentals, is going to be a far larger market, because the average person who rents a GPU, right, to do data analysis, and like all companies are starting to need to do this, these people are spending way more money than they were ever going to spend on CPU and RAM, because it's a completely different challenge. I mean, we're talking like 10x the hosting cost. So I think GPU hosting, especially as we move forward, is so valuable that these companies are going to just be competing the heck out of each other. And in the meantime, you and me get to enjoy really, really, really cheap cloud hosting prices. Like, I'm pretty sure, I don't know, I can't imagine how. I think Linode has to be losing money on this offering. And it's not, Linode is not going to have the last word, I don't think. Someone else is going to come in with even better prices. So anyways, stay tuned for that. But as long as these companies are fighting each other for actual users, the cloud just becomes even more enticing to use over local. But there are reasons to have local. It's definitely easier. It can be sometimes more convenient to have local, so you can just develop right at your main machine, and then you push it to the cloud and let it run while you forget about it for a few days. So anyway, hopefully that was helpful for some of you guys. I didn't want to get too deep into the numbers, but basically, no matter which way you cut it, it's some number of thousands of hours that you need to spend on a GPU, and most people, I don't think, are going to spend that number, like thousands of hours, on a GPU per year. And if you just start in the cloud and you find that you are spending thousands of hours, you really haven't lost that much money, right? You've retained your opportunity cost. Therefore, you can then think about further getting some sort of local GPU power. I think in the meantime, you can either get by with CPU and RAM, or get like a mid-range GPU that you can just dev on locally and then just use the cloud. So anyways, that's it for now. Questions, comments, disagreements, whatever, feel free to leave those below. Come hang out with us in the Discord. That's discord.gg/Centex. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in some other video.